Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 4 of my Let's Play of Contempt of Court. Last time we went back, we did the first part of the trial, part 1 of the flashback trial. Then we went back to the present, we met Titus again, Mr. Crump. I think he's my favorite character so far actually, other than Snow. But then we met the prosecutor for that trial. I believe it's Mr. Brisbane. And now we are back into the flashback trial for the second part. So let's just... Trial took an unexpected turn. I proved that a ledge existed between the edge of the cliff where Jack Crane fell. A ledge that was perfect size for somebody to hide on. From the evidence, I found that the victim was pulled from behind, not pushed from the front. And because Titus Crump testified he saw Brisbane standing with the victim, as well as the fact that I proved the murder was committed by a different person, Errol Brisbane was cleared completely, but only one question remained. Who is the real killer? Throughout the trial, I noticed Prosecutor Vulper reacted a little too much. I eventually found out he was actually related to the victim. They were stepbrothers. I compared the footprint found on the ledge with Vulper's, and the result was a perfect match. So now, here we are. Vulper took the stand and his testimony is about to begin. Oh, what the fuck? Name and occupation, witness. My name is Vulper, and I'm a He's just like running back and forth between the and may I say, what a polite young man you are. Oh, why, thank you. I do try, you know. And so you should, dear boy. There aren't many of your kind around. If the prosecution is quite finished with his little roleplay, perhaps you could testify about your involvement, if any, with the murder. Me? You say I'm the murderer? Don't talk rubbish. You have no decisive proof. What would my motive be? Jack Crane's death wouldn't benefit me at all. That was a very short and vague testimony. These are grave charges against you, Mr. Vulper. If the evidence doesn't seem to turn in your favor, I hope you have told the whole truth and nothing but the truth in your testimony. Hey, I'm an honest guy, really. We shall soon see. Mr. Cicatrice, your cross-examination, if you please. Okay. Then how do you explain your footprints on the outcrop beneath the edge? And how do you know I made those footprints at the time of the murder? For all you know, I could have been up at that bridge last week. I admit you do have a point, Mr. Vulper. It would be difficult to prove the footprints were made at the time of the crime. Well, does the defense have anything to say regarding this? I'm just gonna say there's something. The defense requests this to be added to the testimony. I don't know what trick you're planning on pulling, Vinny boy, but I suppose it can't hurt. I am innocent after all. I feel like I can, because of the weather report. No fresh snow fell since 5:30. I'm pretty sure that's it, but I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna press. Vulper is the killer, I know it. I think right now I should be trying to prove he was present at the crime scene. You no decisive proof? How are you so sure I don't have decisive proof? If you did, you'd have presented it by now. But instead, you're wasting the court's time with baseless conjecture. I should think before opening my mouth in the future. Gah, I don't even have anything to press here. Oh dear, is Vinny Boy running out of information? He isn't cracking, neither is his testimony. Need to show proof he was present at the crime. Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be the weather report, because if no fresh snow fell since February 10th since 5:30 p.m. on February 10th, it's kind of hard for me to, like, think about this, like to get a time frame for this, but I feel like it's the weather report because none of this other stuff makes any sense. I'm gonna say it's the weather report.
Objection!
You deny making the footprints on the ledge at the time of the crime, correct? You're pretty sharp, Vinny boy. What's your point? Do you remember this? That's the weather report I submitted earlier. What's it to you? You claim that the footprints were placed before the crime, but this report states that no fresh snow fell since 5:30 on February 10th. Oh. Order in the court. The defense has a point. There was no snow. No, there was. Okay. All right. There was no snow since before the murder. It is as you said, Mr. Vulper. The evidence, the shoe prints, were preserved. If you claim to have made these footprints a week ago, the snow would have covered them completely by now. Which brings to mind another question, Mr. Vulper. Why were your footprints not up at the bridge, but down on the ledge? We can put the motive on hold for a while. Would you mind explaining this? Sure.
Well done, my boy. Vulper's testimony can only get rockier from here.
I was walking to Neville yesterday at about an hour before the murder to visit a friend. But I dropped my glasses and they went over the edge of the cliff. Luckily, there was a rocky ledge on which they landed. I was so glad they didn't fall down the gorge. I can't see squat without them. So I dropped down on the ledge to retrieve my glasses. The mystery of Vex Vulper's footprints. Solved! I see, so you dropped your glasses and there happened to be a ledge for them to fall onto. So you dropped down to the ledge to recover them. And this really happened an hour before the murder. Tell me something I don't already know. Don't explain why your footprints were still there. This had better be the truth this time, Mr. Vulper. Mr. Cicatrice, your cross-examination. Okay. Okay. I feel like this will be important. How do I can't examine it? Really? Okay. Alright. Then I'm just gonna press. Who is this friend of yours? That's not relevant to this case. Which translates as, there is no friend really, this whole testimony is a lie. And this took place an hour before the crime. What's that noise? Is there a parrot in the courtroom? Or is it our very own Vinny Boy's cicatrices? Why are you repeating everything I'm saying? It's called pressing. I'm telling the truth. I went to see a friend in Neville. But I dropped my glasses and they went over the edge. I think I'm making his voice sound too high-pitched now. How did they get over the edge? I just told you. I dropped them. So you weren't wearing them? I was fiddling with them while they were on my face. A small jerky movement and they went flying. Lucky there was a rocky ledge on which they landed. That is lucky. You're telling me that I darn near lost them forever. Sounds like you really need those glasses. Well, yeah. If they had fallen down the gorge, I don't think I'd be able to find my way around. Something sounds a little off about this conversation. Press further. Vex Vulper, do you agree that those glasses of yours are very important? Of course they're important. Would I have risked my life with an unstable rocky edge for those glasses if they weren't? Where are you going with this, Mr. Cicatrice? Are these glasses really that important or not? They are probably very important. I don't know why, but they are very important, Your Honor. You see, I noticed something strange when Vulper was testifying about his glasses. I noticed that Vulper isn't wearing any glasses. So these glasses are important to you, yes? Where are you going with this? Oh, I think you know. If these glasses of yours are so important, then why aren't you wearing them? Why aren't I wearing my... Mr. Vulper, you testified that you, him, can't see squat without them. So why are you not wearing them here in this courtroom? I, have them in my pocket. Yeah, that's it. I can cope without them in a courtroom. So I have them in my pocket. He made up this entire testimony on the spot, which means... Oh, really? Then would you mind taking out your glasses and showing us? Oh, I can't. They broke. If I took them out, they'd fall apart. Yeah, that's it. I find that very hard to believe, Mr. Vulper. What do you say to this, Mr. Cicatrice? It's blatant, Your Honor. If Vulper doesn't really need glasses, that means he did not drop glasses on that ledge. Ergo, Vex Vulper made up that testimony on the spot in a desperate bid to clear his name. Gah! Order! Mr. Vulper, you have lied to this court twice about your involvement with the crime. Mr. Cicatrice has proven that you did not make those footprints an hour before the crime, but at the time of the crime. That rhymed. Your constant lies only incriminate you further, Mr. Vulper. You have one last chance. This time, let's get back to the motive. Fine. Yeah. I had no motive. I didn't have a motive. It's not like Jack Crane had anything valuable on him. What's more, I didn't even know him. Well, yeah, another painfully vague testimony. That was your last chance to clear yourself, Mr. Vulper. If defense finds any contradictions in what you just said. Yeah, I know. Very well, Mr. Cicatrice. You may begin your final cross-examination. I don't even need to press any of this. Yeah, you did. Objection! You don't know the victim? Is that what you're saying? That's what I'm saying. I have here evidence that you did know the victim. What? There's no way you can prove he was my step-bro- Shit. Fuck. I shouldn't have said that. What am I doing? Oops. Did you say you were the victim's stepbrother? And that's exactly what this document states. That you, Vex Vulper, were related to the victim, and therefore knew the victim. That was not what he said. My fault, y'all. Order, I say. Mr. Vulper is related to the victim? As stepbrothers, Your Honor. They weren't blood related. Fine, I admit I was related to Jack. But there's just one thing I want to know. How did you know all this? As I'm sure you're aware, my client knew the victim well. Mr. Brisbane told me today in the lobby. He could have been lying. The guilty will always lie to protect themselves. Oh yes? But you were the one who just admitted it. Before you knew the defendant said it. Oh. And with that in mind, I would like you to add this information to your testimony. Your Honor? Very well. Makes for a very valid point. Fine, even if I knew Jack Crane, I still had no reason to kill him. Let's press that. None at all. No grudge, perhaps. Geez, for a defense attorney, you sure do have your fair share of stupid attacks. I didn't know the victim. When are you gonna get that into your thick blue skull? Excuse me for earning a living. I'm so close. Vulper must have had a reason to kill Jack Crane. But what is it? So close. No. What is it? I feel like he shouldn't have known about the card. So to be honest, I think it might actually be the card. Cause, I mean, it doesn't have its fingerprints on it, but like looking at the rest of this evidence, like let's go through it one by one. The attorney's badge, no. The autopsy report, no. Shoe prints photo, no. Weather report, no. The playing card, I think it's the playing card. Shoe print, no. Map, that doesn't matter. Memento, memo, doesn't matter. Cross-section drawing, doesn't matter. His shoe print, doesn't matter. So, I'm gonna try the playing card. Objection! Prosecutor Vulpa, does this card look familiar to you? That's the playing card found on the victim's body. His lucky charm. Are you suggesting that I killed him over a piece of a card? What would be the point of taking that? Can you explain what's so special about this stupid card? No. But somebody else can. This person can explain what's so special about this card. I'm gonna say Brisbane? I think so. The defense requests the defendant, Aurora Brisbane, take the stand. The defendant? But why? Early in the court lobby, Mr. Brisbane began to tell me something about the card. What about the card you follow? What's so special about it? That's what I asked Jack at the time of the crime. Actually, it's the reason why we met at Verglass Bridge in the first place. It was? Anyway, the card... It's made of a Court is back in session. Please make your way back to the courtroom. You tell me once this is over, Mr. Brisbane. I made the same voice for the bailiff and Vincent, so my bad. Video is cut off. Therefore, the defense requests the defendant take the stand and tell us just what enigma means. But look at it, feel it, it's obviously card. I wonder. Mr. Brisbane, please take the stand. I'm aware of your nervous disposition, Mr. Brisbane, but do not worry, we are not going to ask you to testify. We would just like you to tell the court what is so different about this card. I understand, Your Honor. Well, you see, me and Jack were good friends. One evening, he wanted to tell me something about the lucky charm I've seen him with so much. Hey, Jack. A roll. You took your time. Save it. Do you know how far I had to walk? Why are we even up here anyway? I thought this would be a good meeting point. I mean, you live in the city, I live in Neville. This bridge is like a halfway point. Anyway, you asked me the other day what's so special about this card of mine. Yeah, I mean, what's the deal? It's just a piece of card, right? Wrong. It's made of enigmium. Enigmium? That's an incredibly rare metal. Yup. That's the real reason I asked you to meet me here. I'm trying to hide this from someone. Who? My stepbrother. Remember, you met him once. He attends the same law school as us. I think so. Anyway, don't go near that guy. He's a loony. Loony! It was his wording, not mine. Anyway. He's been trying to get his hands on this enigmium for ages now. You mean, that's why you live up here in Neville? Precisely. He hasn't found me yet. Why does it look like a playing card? Enigmium is a very mysterious metal. Just one of its properties is that it's very malleable. Another being that it is card-like in texture and flexibility. So, should my stepbrother find me, I disguised it as a playing card. He and I used to work in the field of sculpture, so it wasn't hard. The perfect disguise to hide it from thieving eyes. But why are you telling me this? But as for why I called you here, I wanted to suggest that we cash this in. You'd pawn enigmium, that'd make you a billionaire. Correction, us billionaires. What? It was a favor I originally promised my stepbrother when I found it. But he grew insanely jealous and greedy, so I had no choice but to hide from him. You I trust a roll. I'm passing on the promise to you. Haha. Well, what do you think? Hey, let me have a look. Hey, give it back. I'm not gonna let this happen again. We're gonna... Ah! So the card in the court record is an ultra rare and very expensive Pokemon card! Metal, I mean! Sorry. Yes. I admit I got a little overexcited and sort of snatched the card out of his hands. And I did shove him, but it wasn't hard enough to even make him stumble. The card is made from an incredibly rare, mysterious, and very valuable metal. As the defendant just stated, the victim and Vex Vulper are indeed stepbrothers. He also explained a motive. Vex Vulper previously tried to obtain the enigmium card, but failed when Crane ran away to live in Neville. He must have somehow got word that meeting on Verglass Bridge was to take place, so he hid himself there and killed his own stepbrother for his own selfish purpose, to get his hands on the enigmium card. Lies! Lies! All of it! You still deny it? Yeah, I still deny it. There's something you haven't explained and can't explain. How would I have known about the meeting on Verglass Bridge? Yeah, Jack tried to hide from me. He succeeded too. So how the hell else could I have known about that meeting? No, I can't let him get away with this. Indeed, there is no concrete proof of how Mr. Vulper knew of the meeting. Yup, and that's because I wasn't there. Gah, he's back to his usual smarmy self. I'm afraid, Mr. Secretress, that as long as there is no proof to back up your claims, the defense has proof, Your Honor. You do? You do? You do? I do, I mean, yes, Your Honor. Very well then, Mr. Secretress. Please enlighten us. Present to the court proof that, or away that, Mr. Vulper could have known about the meeting. Way they could have known about it. Not that. Not the weather report. Not the shoe prints. Not his autopsy report. Not the badge. It has to be a profile then. This is first investigation. What if it's Crump? I feel like it could be Crump, but I'm gonna try Crump. Surprised, Miss Vulper? Mr. Vulper? Yeah, I suppose I am surprised. Surprised you're such a big-headed time waster. Shit. That hurt. Oh no, I have proof. Very well then, Mr. Secretress. Please enlighten us. Okay, so I'm gonna be completely honest here. I think I only have one life left. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look up walkthrough because I don't want to be stuck here forever. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and apparently it's Mr. Brisbane. I have no idea how, but I guess it's him. The defendant? Remember what he stated in his story. He, Crane, and Vulper all went to the same law school. And what does that prove? You couldn't find your brother, could you? So you sought the information from the person you knew would have contact with him. His closest friend, Aurora Brisbane. How did you... Your Honor, I believe Mr. Vulper has spoken for himself. It would seem that way. Prosecutor Vulper, what do you have to say for yourself? At law school, you must have overheard a phone conversation between Brisbane and Crane. So with this information in mind, here's what I think really happened. You hid on this ledge and waited for the meeting to take place. Then when they arrived, you overheard them speaking of the Enigmium card. Craving the almost infinite riches you would get from it, you looked for the perfect opportunity. Until Brisbane got excited and snatched the card, sparking an argument. This was the perfect opportunity for you. If any witnesses were to report an argument, no one would suspect a third person at the crime. What about Titus Crump? Look at where he's standing. Look at where he's standing. He'd have been able to see me perfectly if I was there. Ah, he's right. Titus would have testified seeing Vulper hiding on the ledge. Ha 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 ha! Try and explain that one, Vinny boy. How are you gonna prove the witness didn't see me on the ledge? Let me look at this. So, I might have to look at the walkthrough again, because I have no idea how much life I have left, but I think I only have one life. Well, it snows constantly on the mountain, so maybe, like, Titus couldn't see him because he got covered up? Well, no, that doesn't make sense, because he still saw Jack and Brisbane, so... You know what? I'm sorry, but I gotta look at the walkthrough again, because the logic in this game is just so confusing. Okay, I'm back, and apparently it's not evidence, it's a profile, and it's gonna be Crump himself. So, I don't know how my biggest criticism of this game so far is that a lot of the contradictions don't make sense, and what you use to present doesn't make any sense, at least to me. I don't know if I'm just, like, stupid or something, but a lot of it just does not make sense, so, yeah. Do you stand by your accusation, Vulper? Just get your humiliation over with, blue boy. Do you remember what Titus Crump stated in his testimony? Did you see the victim fall?
I saw the moment, but not the whole treacherous journey to the bottom. It was too dark.
Dark?
Yes, the moonlight, I believe, shone in a northwesterly direction, therefore rendering the garden in total darkness.
So if you look at the cross-section drawing again,
Mr. Crumb stated that the moonlight that night shone in a northwesterly direction. On this cross-section, it would have looked like this. The moonlight misses you
Okay, I see what they're going for, but I wish that they had a piece of evidence that stated that was like Mr. Crumb's testimony. He stated that the moonlight shone in a northwesterly direction. That would have made this so much easier. I don't know why they did it like this. The moonlight misses you completely. And since Mr. Crumb said the valley was completely dark as a result, then Mr. Crumb couldn't have been able to see you. Oh. So concealing yourself in the darkness, you waited until the time was right to strike. When the timing was right, when Brisbane pushed Crane in the chest, you struck like a viper, reached up and pulled Crane to his death. Admit it now. No. 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 It's not fair. I was so close. So close to... You're pretty good, Vinny boy. To ruin my perfect record like that. But this isn't over yet. I'll get out. And when I do, I'll get you. What is the situation with Prosecutor Vulper, Mr. Cicatrice? Not Vicatrice. He has been taken away, Your Honor. Well, I believe this trial has come to its conclusion. I hereby declare the defendant, Errol Brisbane, not guilty. Court is adjourned. And so, Errol Brisbane was declared not guilty. Okay, so my theory that something bad would... Oh, never mind. But an unexpected guest burst through the courtroom doors with one last act of revenge. Hold it! You! How dare you ruin my perfect record! You'll pay! And as for you, Brisbane, I have something for you. Think fast! My eye! Bailiff, arrest Vex Vulper and take Mr. Brisbane swiftly to the hospital. And that's how the trial came to its dark conclusion. Literally, as I was saying that nothing bad was going to happen to Brisbane, something happens. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Prosecutor Vex Vulper was found guilty of murdering Jack Crane and attempting to steal a piece of the extremely rare and priceless metal enigmium, which Crane had disguised as a playing card. And before being aggressively escorted out of the courtroom, Vulper fiercely threw the enigmium card at Brisbane as a final act of revenge. The razor-sharp corner of the metal snagged Mr. Brisbane. I need to slow down. I'm speaking way too fast. The razor-sharp corner of the metal snagged Brisbane's left eye and left him half blind. The aftermath. Detective Snow, who was in charge of the investigation, was demoted by order of the police. Why? I have no idea. Titus Crump, the witness to the crime, continued his quiet aging life in his manor in Neville. Vex Vulper, the prosecutor and murderer, was taken away by police and never seen again. And as for Errol Brisbane, he disappeared. I'd heard nothing of or from him since he was escorted to the hospital from the courtroom. As far as I was concerned, the poor man had disappeared. And as for me, the dark events of that case upset me so much, I eventually turned in my badge. Never had that case been brought to my mind again, and thankfully too. Until almost 5 years later, the day Mr. Grossberg was murdered. Present day. We're back to the present day. Yes, I got my health back. Thank God. Okay, so you know what? Wait, my bedroom. Hold on, can I save? Save the game. Okay. So, I think I'll continue a little bit, just to be sure. Huh? Is that my phone? What time is it? Hello? Are you interested in saving money on long distance calls? Aha! Hi, is that Harry Butts? Detective Snow, what does he want? How did he get my cell phone number? Do you know what time it is? Oh, sorry, mate. Were you asleep? Is he serious? What do you want, detective? I'm calling from the detention center. Vincenzo wants to talk to you. Vincenzo? Why? Hell if I know. He just said to call you and tell you to come down here. Can't you just put him on the phone? That's what I told him. He said he'd rather talk to you face to face. What does Vincenzo want? Seems like it's so important he can't wait till morning to tell me. Better get down there. Thanks, detective. I'll be right down. Sure, mate. Ah, good morning, Mr. Wright. Morning. You, wanted to see me? At 2:30 in the morning? I did, yes. Unfortunately, it couldn't wait until morning, so I had to arrange a special visit. Since when do defendants have the right to hold special visits? This morning won't last long, so without further ado... Forgive me, Mr. Wright. I haven't been entirely honest with you. What do you mean? I've been meaning to tell you about a past trial of mine. A past trial? Yes, a trial I was a part of when I was a defense attorney, the DT2 case. I have a fleeting thought that these two cases are connected. Connected? Titus Crump said the same thing. Could he and Vincenzo be talking about the same trial? So what happened at this trial? Vincenzo told me the whole story about his trial. By the end I was bursting with questions, but one piqued my interest in particular. What happened to the defendant, Errol Brisbane? He disappeared. Disappeared? The last I saw him, he was swiftly escorted out of the courtroom and to the hospital. That poor man. I went through an extended period of depression following the event, until I realized I couldn't work as effectively as I could any longer. Brisbane's scream still echoes in the recesses of my mind to this day. I wonder what happened to him. And what about the prosecutor, the one who was found guilty? Oh, I wouldn't worry about him, Mr. Wright. He's been in prison these past 5 years. Vincenzo, have you seen this man before? No, who is he? That's what I want to know. Hold it. Let me have a look at that person. Gah! Is that... could it be? It's impossible! What? You know who it is? He looks mortified. This meeting is over. Thank you for coming down, Mr. Wright, but I'm tired and I must get some sleep. You know who he is, don't you? Ugh. He wouldn't say any more to me after that. He just stood up and walked out. I still have no idea who the mysterious Mr. X is, but I'll find out tomorrow. In court. Alright, so we're now at the court section. So let it play out. Alright, so with that said, next time we're going to go into this trial and try to defend Mr. Cicatrice.